Kathy has been a Toastmaster, or has been a member of one of our Toastmasters for a year. Last year's renewal, she was able to get a free pathway because she renewed early. The pathway is called Strategic Relationships. Today, she will be doing an icebreaker for it. She invites you to join her to experience a day in her youth. The title of her speech is Journey Through My Concussion and How It Helped Me Deal with Stubborn People. Here is Toastmaster Kathleen Lekadou.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please close your eyes for a moment. Now, look at that darkness and multiply it by 100 times. Now you may open your eyes. Ow! My shoulders hurt. Why is it so dark in here? Why can't I hear? Kate, open your eyes. Kate, open your eyes. I recognize this place. This is Kings County Hospital. Why am I here? I look up and I see I'm sitting and I see my mother's face and I ask her, why am I here? Now the expression on her face scared me because I've never seen that expression. She asked me, don't you remember that you came in the basement and told me that you fell off your bike? And I'm like, no. She said, don't you remember your uncle Tonton brought us to the hospital? I'm like, no. And then I told her, my shoulder hurts. So she looks, my clothes are not torn, so she lifts up my shirt and then she lifts it up, this one, and she sees there's a big gash on it. Now they called us and we went inside. So the doctors examined me and on my eye I was cut. And he asked me what happened. And I'm like, I don't know. The last thing I remember is my friend Pipo riding his bike. And he continues. Then he asked me the same question a second time. I repeated the same thing. Then a third time he asked me that question. Now I'm getting upset. And then after, I started to be fearful. Because I'm like, does he think my mother did this to me? And I looked at her, are they gonna take her away? But then he continues talking, and then he says, oh, you're going to need stitches. You're lucky, they invented this new kind. You'll get 3 stitches, and then it'll dissolve in 3 days. And then you could come back and we'll see how it looks. We're like, fine, okay. Now you're probably wondering, how did I get this concussion? Well, when I went home, all the kids on the block, they were happy to see me. But I'm like, asking them what happened. They said, you fell off your bike. I'm like, okay, where? So they bring me over, they show me, and sure enough, there was my blood cells and my skin cells right there on the ground. It was still there the next day. And I was like, still don't know what happened. So they explained to me that we were playing Red Rover. And does anybody know that game? Okay. Well, for those who don't know it, just imagine the front table here is a team, and they're standing up, they're holding hands, and the back table is a team, they're standing and holding hands. So Robert would call Tim and say, Red Rover, we want Tim over. So Tim would run as fast as he can, and he would, try to break through their arms. So if he breaks through, Tim will go back to his team. But if he doesn't break through, now he's on their team. And then we would call each other out doing that until one team has one person left. That means they lost. So you try to gather as many people as you can. Well, that day, we didn't have enough members, so we still wanted to play. So the few of us that wanted to play, we decided to play on the sidewalk. And in the infinite wisdom of 10 and 11-year-olds, we decided to do it, instead of running, with a bike. Now, the sidewalk could only fit 2 of us at a time, so we're like, okay, we'll take all the turns of who's holding hands. So now, it comes my turn to ride the bike. And my waggish and stubborn cousin, Winnie, she says, I'm not going to let go. What words? Now, me being stubborn too, I said, well, I'm not gonna stop the bike. Well, you know where I wanted to go. So to this day, I still don't remember what happened. I'm going by what they told me. Well, you're wondering, how has this helped me deal with stubborn people? Well, I've learned that when 2 stubborn people meet, they will collide and somebody's going to get hurt. So I learned I do not want to get hurt. So what I do when I meet people, I observe them, if I see that they're stubborn, I try to find a way to befriend them or be civil to them, and so that in the future, if I need something from them, I can get it without a confrontation. And I also had to use it with my students, because like Roy shared last week, as a teacher, for those who don't know, I'm a teacher, and I taught middle school. You always have one of those that you're like, you wish you weren't my kid. Yeah, I mean, you're glad you're not my kid. But anyway, so to deal with them, when I feel like this is gonna happen, I would send them to a colleague's classroom. Now, if you're a seventh grader, I would send you to a 6th grade class or 8th grade class. That way, they're looking at you like, ooh, what did you do? You know, and you're not among your peers. And to add insult to injury, I would send you with your work. So you're not gonna get out of doing your work. As a matter of fact, you wind up doing more. And if you really one that bugs me, I would send you to your least favorite teacher, especially if they're a strong disciplinarian. So as you can see, I've taken what I've learned, how not to butt heads, and to still get my way, even though I'm stubborn. Thank you.